And to shed more light on this topic, I'm so delighted to be accompanied over the phone by Ramzy Khoury, the journalist and the political analyst. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Shuru.
Well, sir, of course, you've heard the latest when it comes to Gaza, that President Donald Trump also announced some members of the so-called Board of Peace, or the Technocratic Party. So how do you see this move and this foundation of this body?
Well, Shuruk, the board is headed by Donald Trump himself, very pro-Israeli, but also includes Tony Blair, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and several other personalities, including an Israeli man, who are very pro-Israeli. Now, thank God, the board also includes other people who are not. And what we need to do, such as, for example, Egyptian intelligence chief Hassan Rashad, there is also the Turkish foreign minister Hakan Fidan, and Qatari diplomat Ali Tawadi. The UAE is also sending Rim al-Hashimi. These Arabs who are on the board are the only hope for the Palestinians, that this board would actually try to be a board for peace rather than a board for the service of Israel.
Well, Mr. Ramzy, of course, we've seen the foundation, or the plan of the foundation of the so-called the Board of Peace. There's no Palestinian names.
Absolutely none. There is an Israeli person on the board, and there are people who are 100% committed to Israel. The Israeli businessman supposedly on the board, Yakir Gabay, but no Palestinian on the board. However, the Palestinians are going to have to rely on the presence of the Arabs, the Egyptian in specific, as well as the other Arabs who are on the board.
Well, I was surprised with some of the names. Tony Blair, we haven't heard this name for a while, and then it pops out during the foundation, which they are working on, that is going to take place probably within 2 weeks.
Tony Blair is one of the most famous people for being anti-peace. So to invite him on a board of peace is in itself a very controversial matter. But we do have a problem. This is a board that is pretty much inclined towards Israel and Israeli interests. And this is the board that is going to make a decision, or the decisions that regarding Gaza, and how the executive committee on the ground, the Palestinian technocrats are going to function. Now, one positive element, Shuruk, is Mladinov, who is on the board, but he is also the high representative for Gaza. Now, this guy's job is to coordinate between the Board of Peace, that is headed by Donald Trump, and the Palestinian committee on the ground that is going to run Gaza. Well, Mladinov was the UN Middle East envoy. He is somebody who is respected by all parties, and therefore maybe he will be able to do a job that is balanced, to say the least. And this is where the concern is, Farouk. How balanced is this going to be? The whole idea behind a board of peace that does not mention an outcome for a permanent peace, a permanent solution to the Palestinian issue, is in itself questionable. This is a board of peace that is not going to produce peace on the long term. This is a board to manage Gaza. Now the Palestinians don't have much of a choice. They have to accept this. They have to support it because the Palestinians are faced with catastrophe on the ground. And unless they are positive regarding this and cooperative, then there will be much more death and the genocide will continue. But to expect this board of peace to actually resolve the Palestinian issue and establish a Palestinian state, well, this is not one of the mandates of the board, and this should not be expected of this board. it is fascinating how Donald Trump wants to preside over a management committee for a very small territory called Gaza. That in itself also creates another question. Why? Why would Donald Trump want to do this? And why would Donald Trump appoint all of these arch supporters of Israel to this board that is managing this very small territory called Gaza? These questions will have to be answered over time, unfortunately. We have to see exactly how this board is going to perform, what kind of decisions they're going to make. We do have expectations. We expect the Rafah border to open now so that all of the equipment, the tents, the food, the medical needs of the Palestinian people are met. So this is an expectation that should be immediate. It's immediate because the Palestinians are faced with catastrophe. And this cannot continue. And it's not just the Israelis and what the Israelis are doing on the ground, the starvation and all of that, but also the weather. The weather is now very, very cold. The Palestinians are bracing again for very bad weather starting this evening. And the weather is killing people, especially children. So if this board is going to open up Rafah and allow for all of the needs of the Palestinian people to enter Gaza, then this is an immediate positive scenario. But to have expectations that this board is going to resolve the Palestinian issue, well, I personally have big doubt on that front.
Well, in your point of view, that you see that it's another theatrical, ironic play. We'll see in the upcoming weeks what's going to happen. Of course, we need the best. That was Mr. Ramzy Khoury, the journalist and the political analyst. I would like to thank you so much for your time.